Okay, let's go to page 67. What are some of the functions of bones? Okay. You can underline mechanical functions, mechanical, and synthetic, and metabolic. Okay. So mechanical means like it is very important for protection, because our vital organs like our brain, our eyes, our heart, our lungs, they are protected where? In the bones. Yes. And some metabolic function is that, for example, is very important for the formation of what? Red blood cells. Yeah. It's important for calcium metabolism, for phosphate metabolism, for acid-base balance. Okay, all these are like metabolic and synthetic functions of the bones. And cartilage. Cartilage is like, okay, usually bones and cartilage they are related. Okay, let's see. For example, here if you see here the ribs, if you see the ribs here, okay. So these are what? These are the ribs, and this is what? The cartilage. Okay, you see the ribs are connected with the cartilage. And another thing, if you see, for example, the joints here, if you see the joints here, okay, so you can see these are the articular cartilage. That means on top is the cartilage and the rest is the bone. Okay, so usually bones and cartilage they are like found together. Okay. What are cells of the cartilage? You know, we discussed the bone cells, yes? What are the bone cells? There are three, yes? What are they? Osteocytes, osteoblasts, osteoclasts, yes? Like that. Cartilage, they have also cells. Okay? What are they are called? Chondrocytes. Can you see that? Can you underline that? Chondrocytes? Underline that or highlight that. Chondrocytes. So there are three kinds of cartilage. What are they? They are fibrous, hyaline, and elastic. Fibrous, hyaline cartilage, and elastic. Okay? What are some of the characteristics of cartilage? Usually cartilage, they don't have blood vessels. They don't have any blood supply. Even bones have blood supply. Yeah, we saw that, yes? But cartilage, they don't have. They are not supplied by blood. They don't have any nerves. So that means they are insensitive. If your cartilage is get injured, you may not get like pain because they are not. Okay? And these cartilage, they are surrounded by what we call a fibrous membrane. This is called perichondria. Okay, just like periosteum surrounds the bone, perichondrium surrounds what? The cartilage. Okay, you remember we discussed on periosteum. Periosteum is the one that surrounds the bone. So perichondrium surrounds the cartilage. Okay. Okay, let's go to joints. What is a joint? A joint is a junction between two or more bones or cartilage, yes? Yes. If you take, for example, here, okay, the elbow joint, there is humerus here, there is what? Ulnar radius, and there is a joint here, okay? And if you take wrist joint, also the same. There are some small bones here, okay, radius and ulna, then there is a joint, okay, that is called a joint. So what is the use of a joint? A joint is very important to move, okay? Okay, that part of the body. So according to this, we have three kinds of joints. We have functional joints, structural, and we have regional joints. Okay, functional, structural, regional. So functional is they are immovable joints. They don't move. So they are fixed. Okay, no movement. So the surfaces, they have a fibrous tissue. And under functional, there are also partially movable. They partially move. Usually they have part of cartilage, and the other are freely movable joints. These freely movable joints, they are also called synovial joints. Usually synovial joints, they are found on the shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip joint, knee, ankle. They are called synovial joints. These are like the big joints. Why they are called synovial? Because they are covered by a structure called synovium. Synovium. This synovium is the one that produces fluid for the joint, for nutrition and lubrication. Okay. So structural joints are two kinds. We have fibrous and cartilaginous joints when we take structural. Fibrous joints means, okay, the joints, they are joined by fibrous tissue. Okay. So in this case, because there is fiber in between, the movement is not free, yes, because there is some kind of fibrous attachment. So there is a restricted movement. And sometimes they may be removable. And they are divided into sutures. Where do you get sutures? Here on the skull. Yeah, there are sutures, yes. That means the skull, you know, there are fontanelles here when they are babies. Okay, there are fontanelles, anterior fontanelle, posterior fontanelle, and all the skull bones, they are connected. All the cranial bones here, they are connected with sutures. Yes, these are the markers on the skeleton. If you see the skeleton on the skull, especially on the cranium, and syndesmosis and gomphosis. These are examples of structural joints. Cartilaginous joints, especially in this case, they are united by a plate of hyaline cartilage, and they are immovable and they are strong usually, when it is primary. So when it is like secondary cartilaginous joints, they are also called fibrocartilage. Usually these are found, fibrocartilage are found, for example, in between of the vertebrae here. Fibrocartilage. Then the last classification of joints is regional. Okay. Regional, they are what? Okay, joints in the skull, and joints in the vertebra here, and joints of the limbs. Okay, the joints of the skull, are they movable? No, they are immovable. Yes, you don't move them. Just they are joints, but you don't move them. Vertebrae, they are slightly movable. You see, that's why we can bend and, okay. And on the limb, they are highly movable. Yes, they are freely movable. For example, elbows, they are freely movable. Wrist, our wrist is freely movable. Okay, so these are called structural or regional joints.